What is your sense of the team's confidence level right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that losing 2 out of 3 in LA was tough for them. I think we played good, clean baseball. We didn't get some big hits with 2 outs, and we made some. And they got some big hits with 2 outs, and we walked some guys on Sunday that hurt us. But confidence level, I think they're still fine. I think they're young guys, and there's a lot going on right now with finals and finishing school, and where am I going to live? If I'm in a dorm, now the dorms are going to close. So there's a lot of other things they're worried about. We'll get to the confidence level probably on Thursday when we talk about Oregon State.
Talking about Oregon State, it seems like they do just about everything well. They're ranked second in D1 baseball. They're number 1 in Baseball America. What impresses you the most about their team?
Yeah, I just think everything. I think that they're obviously their Friday night starter is one of the best in the country, and we're kind of game planning for him right now, and looking at everybody on their staff, and they all pound the zone. There's not too many walks. They got a lot of left-handed hitters, which probably will bode well in our stadium, and they got some speed. And they play really good defense. Now they're going to have to play on grass and dirt, which is different for them. So we'll see how it goes, and it's going to be a little warmer than they're used to. But they're a very impressive team, well coached, and obviously they've recruited well over the years.
We're going to be talking to George. What is it about him that's made him a good pitcher this year and a setup guy that you've gone to out of the bullpen?
Yeah, he's really developed. I mean, he's worked really hard in the fall. His breaking ball and he's kind of elevated his fastball. He'll get it up in the 91, 92 range, but he also elevates the location of it, which helps him. We need George to be good down the stretch here. He's had a few bumps in the road the last couple weekends, and we need him back at where he was to help us. Get these these 6 games. Obviously, are really important.
Well, a guy like him, a guy like Trevor, guys that hadn't done much in the past and now have become much bigger roles. Does that come with the territory of that now that there's more on their shoulders that there is going to be some hiccups?
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, it's we're definitely using a lot of guys that do not have a lot of experience before this season. So, and they've done well, and they've done a good job, and they're definitely been a little bit of a roller coaster of late. And some of it strikes. If you don't get ahead, if you come in a game and you throw ball 1, ball 2, you put the hitter at a great advantage. We all know what the averages are, 2-0 compared to 0-2 or even 1-1. So they need to pound the zone early, and if it's going to happen, let it happen on the first pitch.
I believe you played before George's dad. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how well did you know him prior even to the show?
Yeah, no, I've known George Sr. for a long time, and he was a great player, obviously, at the university and obviously in pro ball and Japan, and had a great career. And, talked to him a bunch this season about George and just baseball in general. So he's a great Wildcat, and we're proud to have his son here.
You mentioned their Friday night starter, Cooper Turpey. I'm sure you've watched plenty of video of him. What stands out to you when you watch him?
Well, obviously his numbers are incredible. The strikeouts compared to walks. Where he locates. We tried to look at all the teams that he's pitched against, and has anybody had any success, and tried to sort of, maybe we'll try to go with that approach. And there's just not a whole lot there. So you got to hope that everybody has an off night, and maybe it'll be here in Tucson.
You have your own lefty who's been pretty darn effective. What has Garrett Irvin meant to this team?
He's meant a whole lot. I mean, I think the Sunday game against Arizona State was so big for us. We were, kind of in the same boat we're in now, where maybe, like you were talking about earlier, there's a little bit of confidence wavering, and to come out and pitch like he did. And he's just been our solid guy, whether it's on Saturday or Sunday, or even if he has to pitch on Friday in the conference tournament. So it's been huge, being a veteran, and kind of the opposite of what we just talked about with all these other guys. He's done it before, and he knows what it takes to kind of be the shutdown guy.
Without looking too far ahead, since next week is Thursday to Saturday,
Yeah.
and then you'd start playing on Wednesday, do you have to start giving consideration to moving around starters for rest purposes?
Yeah, we actually thought about it this weekend, and then exactly what you said. We looked at the Eugene series against Oregon, and then again we might have to play on Wednesday in the conference tournament. So we're going to leave Nichols on Friday, Irvin, and just to move him up one day in Eugene will be okay to get Nichols will be able to pitch on Thursday, will be fine, and then Irvin Friday. And we'll see where we're at. We have Murphy, we have a few guys, Orloff, that we can throw out there if we want to put a wrench in it somehow.
So I know that when um, people look at the Cy Young race these days, they don't look at wins as much as they used to in the past, right? It's ERA, it's WHIP, it's a bunch of other factors. But when Garrett Irvin pitches for Arizona, the record is 25-9. When he pitches the day after a loss, the record's 8-3. When he pitches the game after a loss, it's 10-4. Coincidence? Does that have a lot to do with Garrett? Why do you think
No, I think it
the
has a lot.
Wildcats
Yeah,
record is so good?
it definitely has a lot to do with it because that means the team's scoring runs, and there's a reason why they're doing that because he's getting them off the field. If you notice any baseball game you'll watch, whether it's high school, college, or professional, the team that spends the most time out in the field, and not just because there's a lot of hits or a lot of walks, it's hard to come in and hit. You saw it at USC where we had a long inning on defense. We came in, we swung at the first pitch, made it out, and now we're trying to tread water and make the inning as long as we can. And we had a few good at bats to do that to get somebody loose in the bullpen. So it's hard when you're sitting out there on defense on your heels, and then all of a sudden you're asked to come in and hit. And he does a good job of getting us off the field. So I think there's a lot to it.
What role has Garrett and the other quote-unquote seniors, or they're called seniors, not played in terms of helping you make this transition to a new regime here?
Yeah, it's been great because you always lean on those guys that have been around. McCleary, Bullard, Irvin, Flanagan has been huge. So, it gets to the point where, in professional baseball, we're always worried about, how much rest does he have? How much rest, the guy like Flanagan now, we're down to 3 games a weekend. He almost can throw in all 3, and we don't worry about his arm. He's honest with us. If it's bothering him, we won't pitch him one day, or we'll limit it to 1 hitter or 1 inning. But yeah, those guys are huge because they've got, like you said earlier, they've done it, and they have experience.
Did Jack Grant re-injure his knee, or was that something else?
No, it's same thing. Same thing. It's got to the point it's like a sprained ankle. When you sprain your ankle, you seem to be able to you sprain it easier after that. It gets looser. So those ligaments around there are kind of loose. And the good thing about it, he's been able to come back a lot better from it. Whether he's available against Oregon State, there's a possibility, but I think for sure he'll be ready for Oregon.
Are any pitchers unavailable this weekend?
No, we got a few guys sick right now. We're kind of battling the flu. We've been battling it ever since Omaha when we went to Creighton. And it just seems to be stinging a few guys. Garen Caulfield got it over at USC. That's why he was out. And basically played on Sunday when Jack got hurt. And he was in bad shape. Came off the bench. He hadn't hit, I think, in 2 days. He was in his hotel room and got a hit. So he's better. But we got 2 or 3 other guys sick now, so we'll see how they come out.
How about Nets?
Nets is probably maybe the conference tournament if everything goes well.
Okay, are you still looking at Tonko for Sunday?
Yeah,
at this point?
Tonko will start Sunday.
Do you like having him as a starter because of the routine that's required for him to get ready?
Yeah,
as opposed to bring him out of the pen?
I saw that on Twitter. You had put something about that. That was interesting. That was always our thought on Tuesdays. But right now, he's our starter. So he's going to pitch. It wasn't like we were going to piggyback him. We wanted him to pitch as long as he could, and he just didn't. He didn't pitch like he did the previous Sunday against Nevada. So we're hoping we get the Nevada Tonko on Sunday. We can get at least 5 out of him. And we, like you said, we have Orloff, we had Murph. We knew they were going to pitch in that game. But it would have been nice if we could have just gone, Tonko 5, Orloff a couple, Murph a couple, and finish it off.